Y'all, Karen Huger is that girl. I love to see an older woman come in on reality television and take the ball and run with it. Listen, the lady understands the assignment. She makes great television. She's great for entertainment, and she will be hard to dethrone. She sat down at that table. She looked each one of them in the eyes, and she says, I need to get a head count because I need to know in this moment who is my friend and who's not my friend because I don't need no fake bitches around me. Can we talk about it? Let's go. All right, welcome, kings and queens. Today we are in the palace, y'all, and we are talking the Real Housewives of Potomac, season 9, episode 1. Yes, we are talking about it, and I feel like this season just may be the season that we've all been waiting on. I think things are going to be shaken up. I think there's going to be some moments that are going to leave us speechless, and I want to talk about it. This may be the year. And here's what I need to happen as a viewer. What I need to happen on this season, and it just may come true. I need Mia and I need Wendy to be placed in the hot seat. I'm not playing this year. I feel like they've gotten passes over a number of seasons over the course of the past years, and I need them to be placed in the hot seat. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. This commentary may not hit home for everybody because you're going to see me show up in a different way. I am not a fan of Wendy. I am not a fan of Wendy. I never have been since she came on her first season of The Real Housewives of Potomac. It's just something about Wendy that I cannot relate to. Okay. And it seems like Karen is going to pull her card this season, and I love it. And also, Mia is going to be held accountable for her 304 activities. And I want to talk about it, you guys. I want to talk about it. So let's get busy. Let's jump in. And then I want to know your thoughts. First of all, do you think this is going to be one of their best seasons? In your opinion, with the new girl, we got the new girl. I hope a new girl stays because I did not like the way Wendy did NECA last season. I didn't like it. I know some of you are going to disagree with me, but I didn't like the way Wendy showed up as if she's the only Nigerian that can be on that show. Because if the truth be told, it was Ashley that brought that mess to the Real Housewives of Potomac. It wasn't NECA. Okay. Now let's be honest. But do you feel like this season is going to be one of them seasons? That's my first question to you. My second question to you is who you with? Who you rolling with? Who's on your roster? Who are you windmilling for? Put it in the chat. Let's talk about it. For those of you who are just tuned in, or if you're new to the channel, welcome to the palace. I am Queen Sheba. I cover a variety of hot topics. Y'all, I cannot remember. Related to reality television. But listen, I'm going to skip all of that because y'all already know I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience. Let's get into it.
Subscribe now.
Now, what they did this season, season 9, episode 1, they they reenacted Karen's DUI, which was a very serious matter, okay, of her drinking and driving. Karen, listen, y'all, what in the Uber of it all is going on? Do you feel like Karen is too old to be making rookie mistakes like that? And when I say old, I'm not talking about her age. When I say old, I'm talking about her experience, her mindset, her level of sophistication. Do you feel like she should know better than to get behind the wheel of a car? And she should have called an Uber. Karen, you are the grand dame of Potomac. What in the Uber, what in the Lyft is going on? Okay. Now, for that, listen, I'm happy that nothing more serious occurred. But at the same time, Karen, I got to slap you on your hand because you know better. You know better. And they say this is not your first time getting a DUI. So what the hell is going on with Karen? That's what I want to know. If you had to guess, what do you think is going on with Karen? That's the first thing. The second thing is I appreciate her sitting her behind in the hot seat and taking the repercussions of having to discuss her actions on camera. She could have easily said, I'm not talking about this, but she allowed herself to be placed in a hot seat. She talked about it from what angle she could, and there were some things that she kind of pulled off the table. But overall, I appreciate her standing up like a big girl and taking her licks, receiving her licks, because Karen, you deserve that. You could have seriously injured somebody and you could have seriously injured yourself. The only thing that I wish Karen probably could have and should have done better is hone in more and show a little bit more empathy outside of herself. And what I mean by that is she talked about herself when it came to her drinking and her driving, but she didn't show any empathy for what could have happened. She didn't show any gratitude for not harming anybody else. So it became all about her. But Karen, listen, you could have hurt somebody very seriously. You could have taken somebody's life. And I really need you to stand in that and pause in that and not make it all about you, because it can come across as self-serving. But other than that, yeah, I'm glad that she was a big girl about it. Now here's the thing. When she and Giselle were talking, did y'all pick up what she was putting down? Karen low key told us, y'all. I hope I'm not the only one that caught this. I can't be. Is anybody riding with me in the chat? Did you pick up what she was putting down? Karen kind of said that Ray and the two of them, they're not happy in their marriage. Okay? They're detached, they're unhappily married, and this has been going on for quite some time. Now, she did not use those specific words, but she gave us enough to formulate a vision of what's happening in that house. And I cannot help but to wonder and to think, could Ray be a different man when the lights go off and the cameras leave? Could he be a different man behind closed doors? Because the way Karen detailed it and outlined it is almost as if he's a mean old man, that he's a mean, grumpy old man. Do y'all think Ray is a nice guy and he's doing the best he can in his marriage? Or do you feel like Karen is suffering in silence and as a result, she's turned to the bottle and to a substance to cope? Let's talk about it, because it does happen. Not saying that that makes or gives her a good excuse for drinking under the influence, but is there a possibility that she is so unhappy? Because you can feel alone all while being married. You can still feel alone in a house full of people. And it sounds like that lady's lonely in her marriage. She's lonely in her home. But here's the thing, ladies, we gotta talk. See, Karen, you had no business marrying that man because the age difference is too significant. It looks good when you're younger. And I get it, honey. I get it. We're gonna do it for the money. It's gonna give me access to people, places, and things that I have not received access to. But my question is, what becomes your exit plan when he ages out the game? Because Ray has aged out the game. Ray's money ain't doing what it used to do when you was a young lad back in your 20s, 30s, and your early 40s. Okay? Ray is at home mad. He's a grumpy old man. You're still agile. You're still on the scene. You're still nimble. You are still that girl, but he wants no parts of it. So when you put yourself in a position like a Karen Huger and you marry a Ray and you have the kids, you have the image, you're in the neighborhood, you've been there, done that, and they grow up, they move out the house, and it's cold as ice in that house. No affection, no warmth, no love. What happens then? Okay. Ray physically doesn't seem like he can keep up with Karen. Now, I'm not making no excuses for his ass, but I'm just saying it seems like he can't keep up. Seems like he has no interest in loving her. So, what happens next? But at the same time, Ray, you wanted that young tender. I don't know, y'all. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's still not an excuse to get behind the wheel and drink and drive, but it's real. It's real. And I feel like it's worth talking about. Because when you really think about it, when you think about Ray and you think about Karen, and some of you that are tuned in, follow me because you already know I'm not lying. They come from an era where you keep your mouth shut. You don't express your unhappiness. You grin and you bear. You go on. You go on to get along and you suffer and you cry on the inside. Now, I'm not trying to make Ray a bad guy, But the reality is, Karen's not happy in that marriage. Karen is not happy in that marriage. And as a result, it sounds like she's drinking to cope with what Ray is not giving her, which is her love tank is empty. Can anybody relate? Can anybody relate? Is the marriage over? And are they just doing what they need to do because they've been together for so long? That's my question to y'all. All right, I want to transition. A little bit of this commentary is going to, okay, so we talked about Karen. I want to focus on Mia next. Mia. Mia is giving straight 304 vibes. She's been giving it. But listen, I'm not sparing Mia this season. I'm not sparing her, and I'm not sparing Wendy this season. Now, I want to have a come to Jesus moment with all of you. I know some of you may have expectations, but you may not get it with the Real Housewives of Potomac from me, because I have not been a fan of Wendy's since the first time she stepped on the scene. It's just something about Wendy that I have been unable to relate to over the number of years. I don't like the way she did NECA last season. I don't like the way she shows up. I kind of feel like Wendy can be a negative Nancy. She's always finding a way to shade somebody. Not saying that they don't shade her, but she's not my cup of tea. She's not. So I'm looking forward to her and Mia being in the hot seat this season and people holding them accountable. Yeah, y'all are probably not going to like this commentary, but I don't know. But Mia. Mm-mm-mm. Y'all, Mia, girl, you are using your son's paternity for a check. You know what? I don't like when people holler, that's not fair to a mother. Tell the mother. Tell the mother that. Then why are you making your affair, your outside affair in your marriage, a storyline with your son front and center, where there's a possibility that he may not know who his daddy is? See, your son is of a particular age where he can go to school and get made fun of because he don't know his daddy, and your mama is a 304, and then you expect the other women on the show to show you decency, honor, and respect because you are a mother. No, ma'am, Miss Pam. Now, ladies, here's the thing. You don't get a pass because you're a mom. You don't get a pass because you're a woman. Because let's flip the coin. On the opposite side of that spectrum, had it been a man that treated a woman like that, and not saying that Gordon is perfect, but had it been a man to do it, we would be all up in his ass. We would be calling him all kind of names. Horrible father, horrible this, horrible that, if he's using his side chick as a storyline to connect to his children. We've seen it done on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Nobody liked it. We got to keep that same energy of accountability when it comes to the women. I'm not sparing Mia. It's giving 304. It's giving you would do anything for fame, anything strange for a piece of change, including exploiting your own son. To me, my mouth, listen, baby, my mouth dropped and hit the floor. I said, this woman don't have no damn boundaries. This woman don't give a damn. Mia would do anything to be front and center, to be that girl, including dragging your ex-husband, dragging him publicly through the mud on national television, and dragging your own son. Because at the end of the day, is it not about the children? At the end of the day, some of you adults, listen, y'all, how many times are we going to provide ear cover for these selfish ass, grown ass men and women that decide to please themselves sexually outside of their marriages and then say, leave me alone. Don't talk about my kids. Honor me. I'm a mother. I'm a good father. We really covering them? Are we really going to provide ear cover for them when they have single-handedly managed to tear up their own families, managed to bring negative attention to their own children? I don't like that. What about y'all? Are we covering for the parents or are we looking out for the kids? Type it in the chat. You going with the parents are you supporting the kids? Because the kids are at an age where they can't speak for themselves. And I think it's nasty work when you get a 304 like Mia, who married that man for money. And now you jump your ass on national television to demise his role as a business partner. Keep it player. He wasn't a business partner 11 years ago. It is what it is, and it was what it was. Not to alleviate Gordon from any responsibility. So that's what his ass get. Not being cheated on, but being dumped and discarded, because when you go after those young tenderonis and they get bored and you not humping the way you used to, and that arthritis starts to set in your hips and your back and your knees and head, shoulders, knees, and toes, that's what happens. See, women are trading men in just like men trade women in. And that's what you get, Gordon, because you set your eyes on the prize. She was young, she was hot, she came from the strip club, and your sexual desires superseded your common sense. And as a result, you made babies with a hoe. And hoes, like we say on this channel, do what? Hoes do hoe shit. So that's why you see Mia showing up this season celebrating hoe activity, having the nerve to have a date on camera with her husband and celebrating the fact that she got a side dude that wants to take her son to get a haircut. Y'all, let me get off this damn internet. This is crazy. Because if the shoe were on the other foot and Gordon had a side that wanted to take his little girl to get her hair braided, listen, we would be ready to throw them hands, would we not? I'm just saying, keep the same energy. That's BS to me. That's nasty work, Mia. That's nasty work. And I'm not saying that Gordon was the perfect husband. Hell, ain't nobody the perfect spouse. But Mia knows she was cheating on that man. Mia drove that man crazy. And hell, they probably drove each other crazy. But girl, you're not innocent. You're not a good parent. You're not a perfect parent. You're not. And I'm not sparing her because she's a mother. If you didn't want your kids on display, you don't make them a storyline. If you didn't want your kids to be mentioned at that brunch with Giselle, you know what? Then you don't bring them to the television, because what gives? What gives? So you can talk about it, that there's a possibility that Ink is Jeremiah's father. Girl, you crazy to do that to your son on national television. I'm not saying that Ink isn't his father. There's probably a great chance that Ink is the dad. I wouldn't be shocked. Would you be shocked if Mia and Ink have already done a paternity test and that's why Ink is so bold in taking that child by his hand and doing things that only a father would do? That's some messed up shit, in my opinion, for that child. And I understand that Mia's living her fantasy and she's getting her rocks knocked off by a younger man, and Ink is enjoying it and it's lights, camera, action, and baby, we on TV. But if you are not careful, you're going to F your son up. You're going to F your son up. Your son going to grow up to hate your ass or dislike you heavily. Y'all better quit playing with these young boys, because these are the kind of women that mold these young boys into not liking other women because they secretly become mad at their mother. Didn't Gordon say, and they played a clip where Gordon said that his son said that he saw you in bed with Ink. Y'all, I told you hoes do hoe shit. Let's log off and take it to the chat. What are your thoughts?